Hey, now I'm down to the last of these beautiful red habaneros I picked up. I had this great case and I made a whole ton of hot sauces with them. They have been delightful. I've been loving every minute of it. But now I'm going to take the rest of them and I'm going to dehydrate them. Some of them I'll just be leaving dehydrated for now, but some of them, we're going to make an amazing habanero powder that's just going to have this like crazy kick. It'll be a fun little ingredient in cooking, you know, topping stuff, I don't know, hurting people, whatever. So anyway, come along for the ride. So I'm starting off here with these red habaneros. I gave them a nice rinse off just so that they were perfectly clean, all ready to use here. And now we're going to prep them for the dehydrator. Now this step is nice and easy here. I'm just cutting off the stems just like so. I'm leaving everything else as it is. And I'm going to be obviously popping those aside, giving those to the chickens because they love their hot peppers. Now, of course, if you've done much dehydrating, you know you don't want any of the food to be touching. You want air to be able to flow around everything. I'm also going to be putting these in here so that they're not touching the edges of the dehydrator. I just want some nice flow all the way around. And of course, we're going with gloves because I don't want to burn my eyes or any other important things later on. So I have the first layer spaced out how I want, and I'm just going to continue with another. I'm just down to the last of these habaneros here. Now, dehydrating peppers like this isn't something I do terribly often, unless I did what I did this time, which is buy a massive quantity of them that I would not be able to use all in the time before they went on me, and were no longer beautiful and delicious like this. So this is a really good way to be able to use them, even though you can't use them fresh. So there we go. So you'll notice that we're outside here. That is because there's zero chance that I want all of that spicy moisture coming off of these habaneros to be inside the house. That's a surefire way to get in trouble with everybody else with whom I live. So we don't want to do that. So we're outside here. I mean, you could perhaps also do this in a garage if it has like decent ventilation or something like that. You wouldn't want to walk through there and all of a sudden be like, right? So anyway, here we are outside on the outdoor kitchen table. I'm just going to plug this into the same plug that I use for my pellet smoker. And I'm getting this set to 135 degrees Fahrenheit, which is just a really nice gentle heat that's going to be working on this here. It's going to help retain that color a little bit and just gently dehydrate them. This is going to be a lengthier dehydration. I'm going to be letting it go all through the night. I will check on it in the morning, but I'm expecting it to go all day tomorrow as well. There's basically zero chance of rain tonight. However, just in case the gods decide to hate me, I do have this chair set up just with a piece of plastic up on top just to deflect any sort of a little light drizzle that might come through. However, I think the pepper gods will smile upon us. Now, the length of time a dehydration job like this would take is really dependent upon your humidity and just how big your peppers and everything were. We still are not ready. We're going on just about 20 hours, but I'm going to keep letting them go here. It is later that evening, and looks like some of these here are really nice and firm. They're ready to come off. So I'm just going to take off any of them that are hard and completely dried out. And we'll see how many we wind up with that are needing a little more time. So this is all that we're left here that's not quite ready, so I'm just going to let those continue to go. The rest of these are coming inside with me. Another thing I've done as part of this project is I've taken a bunch of this fresh peeled garlic. I've cleaned it off, let it dry, and I'm just going to cut off the little nubs here. Then just using this garlic press, I'm going to press all of it. And once again, working with my dehydrator, I've just cut some parchment paper so it basically fits right on the inside there nicely. I'm going to take my garlic and get it onto here. Okay, this was a lot of pressing. Partway through, I was almost tempted to just pull up my food processor, which a person certainly could do. However, I was trying to get sort of a relatively uniform press on all of it, and I was worried that if I was to use my food processor, I might possibly over process it and get the garlic even smaller than I wanted. I really like the size of the garlic press with regards to the finished product. So now I've just kind of have this across two of these trays, and just using a spoon here, I'm just kind of smoothing it out so it's a thinnish layer. I don't want it any thicker than 1/4 of an inch, preferably even just a little bit thinner than that, and I'll get it even between the two of them. And now I'm just going to assemble my dehydrator once again. And now I'm going to run this at 125 degrees Fahrenheit or 52 degrees Celsius until it is dehydrated. Now, after 8 hours, this garlic is definitely dehydrated. It's all hard and dry, so I'm just going to take it. I'm going to break it up into chunks here. Now that I have this in manageable sized chunks, I'm just going to get it into a Ziploc bag and repeat with the second tray. Well, everything's all dehydrated here. I've got my big old bag of these habaneros. They're still just really beautiful and red and vibrant, even with that dehydration. That's awesome. And I've got this double bagged garlic here, even through the second bag. This is definitely very garlicky coming through here. It smells absolutely amazing. Now, I've got a plan for this. So what I want to do is take this little pepper mill and turn it into a garlicky, super spicy pepper blend. Now, in order to do that, I actually want to break up some of this stuff a little bit here. So I'm going to use my little mortar and pestle setup here. I'm going to take, for now, just a couple of these habaneros, drop those in. I'm going to take some garlic, probably about the same mass as one of those habaneros. Now, as it is, this is going to be really quite spicy just because there's such a high ratio of the habanero in there. So I'm going to, dilute it, if you will, with some of these arbol peppers. I am going to just remove the stems here from them. So I'm going to start off here, and I've got a dozen of these little peppers. And I'm just going to break them up a little bit here. There we go. You can see it's not completely ground up, but it is cracked up quite a bit there. And the pepper mill should be able to grab onto that and run it through. So I'm just going to carefully add this to the mill. And here we go. This initial blend. This will be a good tester, and depending on how I like this, I can adjust it and get this thing filled right up. Now, of course, I'm not feeling like just directly cracking that spice into my mouth, so we need to test it on something. And in this case, I'm thinking a nice fried egg here. I also have to admit that I did try a little bit of this, and I found it just a little bit hotter than what I was looking for in the spice, so I did add 4 more small arbols to this, just to change that ratio a little bit. So it was 16 of them altogether. All I did with this egg while cooking it was salt it and then somehow mess up the top of it when I flipped it, but that's okay. Let's take this here. Let me give this a little sprinkle there. And then we're just going to give this a little sample here. I really like the color of this pepper and garlic blend on here. It's got lots of nice red to it. It's beautiful. So much yolk. Oh, I love these eggs from the chickens out in the backyard. Delightful. Oh, there's the heat coming in right there. Really nice garlic too. I love that dehydrated garlic. It's not quite like roasted garlic by any means. It's not that kind of dark, nearly burnt garlic flavor, but it is a really rich, I'm waving my fork around, a really rich garlic flavor. It's not diluted at all. Oh man, I'm gonna try more of this. I think that's a perfect amount of heat. It's this like really nice gentle warmth through the mouth. I'm gonna devour this egg here really quickly. With that habanero paired with those arbol peppers, as well as, of course, that garlic, it creates this really, really beautiful blend. Now, you could totally play around with this. If you don't have red habaneros, you could use orange habaneros, which are not quite as spicy, or any kind of peppers. I think even like jalapenos, some kind of chilies, anything like that in this sort of blend process would work incredibly well. Instead of those arbols, maybe you wanted to use a different kind of other, sort of filler pepper just to kind of round things out a little bit. Either way, this is really delicious. Now, I haven't gone ahead and actually made a powder with this yet because I want to make that right before I actually go to use it. And I do have some plans with regards to some charcuterie. I think just as a straight up powder, this will be incredibly spicy. And I mean, I think I'm really happy with this. I'm going to make up some more of this and just get this mill nice and filled up. Very excited about that. There you have it. Fun little project using the dehydrator and some extra peppers that I had that I needed to use up in some fashion. So give it a whirl, and if you do, let me know how you like it. If you change things up a little bit, also, I would love feedback on that. And either way, till next time, keep your peppers a living.